always sort of noticed and reflect on when we're talking about social pedagogy is the fact that there's like love, the word love is in the charter, which I think you don't see that often, and I think people are maybe a bit scared of using that word in professional practice because it's sort of meant to be something that's just among family.
And social pedagogy allows for that. And I think it's not common that no other profession that I know of or concept includes the word love, and love does exist in social pedagogy, and you can harness that, and I think that's so special. And I think there's just not enough of it, and it's that people can be so afraid to kind of use that word, but why, you know?
And through showing love, you are actively questioning an assumption that you can't show love and care to somebody you work with, who obviously would benefit from it.
I read an article once which sort of had a phrase in it which I really like, and it's always stuck with me and made me think about how social pedagogy is and how it's different to like other practices in the UK, which is like that social pedagogues are like upbringers on the behalf of society.
I think that this approach for us is that it allows us to love and share compassion and all of them emotions that other professionals don't necessarily share with their client. So and it enables us to be able to be us and still be professionals.
Yeah. It's not just book smart, it's heart smart as well.
Using the theories and the concepts that we learn at uni, and we're not even realising that we're doing it until we've had a conversation and we're reflecting after the grade.
We like the intergenerational work as well at the centre, mixing the young and the old, let's say, together. And our children go sometimes as well, and they love it. The kids and the clients, the older clients, they really enjoy it. So yeah, it's working out really well.
I think the most common theory or concept that we use is the 3 Ps. We hold that one very close to our heart, and it happens so naturally because we share little pieces of ourselves with our clients, and that's how we've learned to build
good relationships. And I think because our client base is so varied, so we've got the children, we've got our clients that are women, and then we've got the older people as well. So we're mums, we've got kids. We're in the age group of the clients that we work with, so we can relate to some of the things that they're going through. And then we've got the over 50. So we've got grandparents, we know, how to deal with them. We make them lots of tea, we have little chats and get them biscuits. And, I'll be out delivering lunches to those that can't make it and have a little chat with them. Sophie gives them a call, don't you? To just remind them that the group is going on and to check that they're coming. So all round, I feel like, the 3 Ps are good for us. It's the main one, isn't it? Yeah. And relationship-based practice, I think, is...
that's our core.
Yeah.
That's what we work from, relationship. And making sure that them relationships are unique and real and meaningful.
Yeah.
In terms of kind of applying social pedagogy to practice, through the pandemic and the national lockdowns, I had to become very creative in trying to engage the young people I was working with and really think outside of the box and think, okay, right, I've got to get a group of young people to want to be with me on a Friday night online. Like, how am I going to tackle this? Like, what could I possibly offer to make these, 17, 18, 19-year-olds want to give up, a night of doing TikToks to want to sit online with me?
Yeah.
I got a bit creative and I thought, okay, I can make this fun. I can do this. It was something so simple. I got a little goodie bag, made up little packs, bingo cards, non-alcoholic cocktails, some treats, and I dropped these bags off to each of their houses.
Oh, wow.
And sent them a text, and I was like, got your Friday night sorted. You know, join me at 7 o'clock. We're going to have a game of bingo online. And it was just, they all turned up, all of them.
Fantastic.
All of them turned up, and it was just so nice. We had that common activity, that mutual ground to work with. You know, that we were all stuck in our houses.
Yeah.
You know, that it's hard. They're already vulnerable, and now they're at further risk of isolation, and you know, you've got to make things work and get through it. And that's how I did it with my bingo cards.
With creativity, out of the box thinking, gathering everybody together in common activity, something fun, something bonding, something social, even if you're all sitting in your own houses in front of a computer.
Yeah. Virtual common third.
Yeah.
How have you used social pedagogy yourself?
For example, obviously doing the youth work stuff, in like on a weekly basis, I sort of meet like new people all the time. I'll maybe go pick up someone that I've never met, and I won't have that background of what's happened, and so which I prefer, because then you sort of use your own skills and abilities.
Yeah.
So for me, like what sort of helped me with that was using the common third and 3 Ps in a combination. So it's hard for it to go like on its own. I think it always goes as a pair, because we could be in the car and we could talk about, I don't know, football, or which I enjoy and they enjoy.
Yeah.
So through that, and then we could get to the warehouse and start building stuff.
Yeah.
And then they might not form a conversation at that moment of time, but if they go for like a smoke or something, and then I'm outside, we probably might talk about families after that. So we've slowly like built that relationship and that trust and respect. So I think that's what's sort of helped me with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think with my kids as well, I think is finding that things to do together, things that they love, letting them take charge.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite important as well. That's another common third aspect.
How do you feel that what you've learned on this course has shaped the way that you parent?
Oh, a lot. It has definitely changed me as a parent. Obviously, that's a question for my children as well to answer. But I think because the challenges don't go away at all. It's not like you're a professional and you're not going to have those problems with your children.
I mean, I wish it was.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I thought. I was like, that's it. I'll know everything. But do you know, there are times when you think that you know the answer, but you don't, because children are their own individuals. And like for one example I'm going to use is like, because I haven't had that, I got married young. Now I want my children to make sure that they complete education properly. They put all the attention in it. And but you know what, that wasn't, because my son really struggled with at secondary school, especially the end part with COVID. But one thing I thought to myself, am I going to sit here and stress, say that you have to, come on, exams are coming up? I chose the other way. I said, you know what, it's a journey we're on together.
Yep.
And if you do well, fantastic. But if not, well, still, this journey, it's a story which you're writing. And you know what? This boy in a year and a half has now ended up with distinction, from completely failing to now getting distinction. So it's shaped me completely not to worry about a lot of things. And that diamond.
The diamond model.
The diamond model, we all have that diamond inside us. We just need to be, I think, as individuals, listened to.
It's probably my favorite theory or approach. Do you want to expand more on the diamond model?
So for me, I think it's that we all have that inside us. There is a shining diamond inside us. Take a step back. Look at yourself rather than always constantly undermining yourself, especially moms with young children.
Yeah.
Just focus on your own strengths.
Yeah. The individual diamond.
Individual diamond.
That really speaks to me. And instead of trying to shape humans according to an idea of what humans should be and shouldn't be, it's polishing that inner diamond that we all have inside of us. So not suppressing and artificially shaping, but enabling a positive development, a blossoming process, if you like. So if you could, in organizations, encourage that way of thinking about development, that would really make a difference, I think.
I think for me, without knowing, the sort of like the whole diamond model, because when I meet someone, I already start thinking about their intrinsic value and what they bring to the table and how I can support them to make their life more happy and fulfilling, as well as how I can sort of work alongside them to empower them to sort of find their own strengths and needs.
The approach of social pedagogy that focuses on meeting people where they are and for what they are as well. I think that's quite groundbreaking in this country, and I think it's so important. It's needed.
Yeah, no, definitely, especially when you look at, you know, the fact that there's still like massive structural inequalities overall in terms of race, gender, you know, all sorts. And yeah, I think that's a really important bit to tackle that, you know, looking at that within organisations, like you say, but because, you know, for example, like you say with the hierarchy, so many people at the top are ones who, you know, have got their through generational, like, you know, generational privilege, for example. I think that needs to change, and I feel like social pedagogy is part of that.
Yes.
Because it very much, you know, looks at anti-discriminatory practice, which is, you know, really essential, and you know, looking at people as individuals.
Yes.
Like you say.
Absolutely. I think it's a real opportunity for change, because you're going to get the best out of people when you meet them as the human being that they are. Yeah.
And I feel like in a hierarchy like that, you don't necessarily get to know the person, you get to know their role, you get to know, you know, what they do in the organisation. But I feel like you were saying, the humanity of social pedagogy means that there's actual complex humans which come into work, not just like, you know, people who are there to fulfil like a tick box. They're there to work with all the complexities. Yeah. And I think that's a really important part. You get to come as yourself. Yes. You know, and I think that's something that's really meaningful. Like, I don't want to go into a role and then just be this certain description of things. It's like I bring myself. I'm there obviously to do a job. I'm there to help people, but in all sorts of creative ways, not just one way.